Hi, my name is Theodore Cottingham, and I come to you in the name of the 21st century Christ that I hope is you, that I hope you will become, and that you will receive all of the powers, grace and glory, ability, creative capacity that pertains to such. Are you willing to walk in the creativity of Christ? A king? Are you not a king, women, men? And who might be your subjects? Billions of neurons that do your bidding? Or are your neurons at war with you? Are you using your neurons or are they using you? Are you light? I suggest you're the light of the world. You don't need neurons to exist, dendrites either. Operating on a system of synapses? Or what are the axon hillocks doing? Or what will God teach you this day if you let God teach you unlimitedly? What are you willing to come into and know? What are you willing to realize? That you were God all the time? From birth? That only God created God and man turned it into something else? We educated God to be separate from God and taught humankind to be at war with itself and each other. How many neurons were you born with? How many have atrophied? What do you care about them? Or do you care for them? Or do you care about you? And what you put in your body? Food or information? What's creating what up here between your ears? And what hell are you sustaining no more to combat you? So that you need hours and hours of entertainment and all sorts of video games or some kind of games to divert your attention from the pain that you inflict on each other and all of your subjects? What subjects are you willing to learn about this day? Gluons and organelles? Thought processes? Is thought using you, or are you using it? Or what if there's another story here at play? In operation with mankind, humankind, womankind? I suggest that God teaches the humble. No matter what your name for God. It doesn't bother me, concern me, whether you call it God, Jesus, Allah, angel, source. That which is love will teach. From the inside out by light. And love that I'm talking about, that light is, that I'm calling God, the source of pure love light, eternal, the essence of you, that you existed in before you were in flesh, and that you roamed the heavens with before time began. I suggest that God will teach with love. And God is the most humble of all. Because God does not come with force, God comes with light, truth, revelation. And you choose. Each day you choose what you put into your kingdom. Is your kingdom of righteousness? Will you stand rightly before you when you stand at the end of your life, at death? Or will you defeat death? Will you come into being a mortal that becomes immortal? Is that what eternal life is? Living here constantly producing more human experiences? Or is it becoming a new creation that becomes seamless, where you open up an entire kingdom, an entire globe, galaxy, universe to you? Will you limit your thinking no more, women, boys, girls, men, religious leaders? Will you teach people no more that they are separate from God and that they need to accept God or abide by a set of rules that your doctrine embraces, that you authorize as the authorized version? Believe me, I do not serve a God of rules that rules with commandments and wants me to worship it. The God that I worship, oh my gosh, I worshiped for years and came into a love relationship where love began to teach me I was it and that I had never been separate. So what does God want? Your service? To serve a church? To abide by a few rules? Or 600 or so? Or pray 5 times a day? What does God want? I suggest that God will teach you directly. And that is the aim of the school. That's why I stand here and teach and encourage you to take the blinders off you and allow you to be taught by God, whatever you call it, directly, so that you learn. Yes, you can learn from my voice, my words that I've written. You can learn from science books, telescopes, manuscripts, recordings. But there is nothing like learning from what's within you, that originated you, that you have never been separate from, that you come into, and you begin to use your authority. You begin to cultivate confidence. that you are equal with God. Think it not robbery to be equal with God. I have 2 children. I was married 32 years. I married Barbie Cook, and she was a Barbie doll, a Southern Belle. A wonderful woman, person. We had 2 children, Amy and Christopher. Many, many times as they were growing up, I had an idea, a goal, a vision. I desired Amy and Christopher to start life where I was. I wanted to impart all that I knew, all that I had, so they wouldn't make the same mistakes that I made. I wanted to give them all I could. I wanted them to be equal with me in every way. In fact, I wanted them to be greater than I am. I didn't want them to stub their toe. I didn't want them to bleed. Like I have. I wanted to give them all I am. I never wanted them to serve me. Abide by my rules. I suggest to you, God wants leaders to become confident, to know what God is and how it is formed, and that you create it for your creators, and you created you. Love does not die. Love has no toggle switch. Love is not based on rules. It's not based on contract. There's no quid pro quo in love. Can my kids do anything to sever my love? Never. Can't happen. No matter what they espouse, what they do, no matter what they compliment, criticize, achieve or not, I love them. They are me. They have my genes. Barbie's too. Woman of love. God, she sure loved them. We did. And I bet you love your kids too. Your parents, your kids, your relatives. Will you love 7 billion all at one time? Will you love them all? Will you no longer divide them into little groups and say, I love you and I don't love you? You can come home with me and you can't. You can eat at my table and you can't. I'll serve you communion, but not you. Blast that. Blast all those rules and divisiveness and layers of bureaucracy and hierarchy that label some outcast and others elite. I suggest to you that the message of Christ is coming forth, and it is cataclysmic. Every person on earth will face this decision. And it's not about being saved or converted or adhering to your set of rules. Hear me, religious leaders. Hear me, planet Earth. I love you. And I came for this reason, to deliver my word. So you would deliver your words. You would birth it. You would become the words that you release, that you internally become infernal with no more. You no more create the hell between your ears. You no more vacillate with the ambiguity and conflict of religion and the boundaries that are set up for you to operate in. You're the limitless I am. Whether you have shoes on your feet, clothes on your back or not, whether you have food to eat, I suggest that the learning system of Christ comes forth now, where you have a humility, where there may be 10 at my table. Some haven't finished grade school sitting next to a neurosurgeon. Will you love people? Will you let love flow? Will you learn to learn from you, your inner voice, with humility? Will you surrender to learn from you? Will you bow before you in the mirror? Will you bow on one knee? Will you say every day in your mirror to you, I love you, I honor you, the King that's never been separated from the King of Kings, the King that makes all kings who will rise to the learning system of one, the consciousness of one? Will you allow a stream of consciousness to teach you? Are you willing to love? Are you willing to have fun and laugh? Are you willing to change what you believe? Will you no longer encrust yourself with the belief systems of man that weigh you down with the heavy burdens that call you a laity and authorize themselves to appoint ones they authorize to be over you to teach you and give you a wafer and a cracker? When you're the King, you have the ability to create you, recreate you. And that's why I stand. This is why I started a school again, to preach this message, to teach this message, to free your thinking. Oh, Neo, are you ready? Truman, are you ready to leave the island? Where's Morpheus? Are you somebody's Morpheus? Will you be Neo that becomes Morpheus? Or what kind of allegory, what kind of story is meaningful to you that will power you, that empowers you, that will confidence you to create the Christ that's you once again? I woke up at 2:30 this morning, and I had, as I lay there, some things. I'm getting a piece of paper that I'm going to read. So I wrote, I want to be open to fly, open to float, open to forgive, open to dance, open to be a Christ, open to travel faster than light, to teleport, to return, and tell all my brothers and sisters, all my family, how it's done, how it's achieved, how you become surrendered to be it, to do it. I want to live. I want to have lived in this life and others. I am my word. I go make it done. Watch me. Theodore, king of want, no more, but surrender to be what I am, do what I can to heal all of the maladies here. We are cosmic children of the Most High, whatever you call it. We are all connected. I am my word. Go now, I do. Seamless. I've become. Good day. February 7th, 2021, 2:42 a.m. in Eureka. I'm a lover. So whether you like this or not, whether you like my message or not, or me or not, my delivery system, my little recordings, I love you and I honor you. I honor you as the Christ who will be it. Coming into the arrangement of the patterns of thinking that no longer control you, constrict you, and condemn you to a life that ends in death. I love you and I bless you this day. Be your word. That you sow and let grow. And you let the wheat and the tares grow together until such time as there's a harvest or a resurrection out of the body, where this thing, the body, controls you no more. And yet, you can be seamless with it. And after your resurrection, you come. You see people fishing for food, and you say, hey, maybe cast your net on the other side. Then you sit down and eat molecular food when you don't even have to be molecular, because you're the king, because you understand the greater story. You understand the cosmic implications of Christship and your willingness to be one. That's why I'm starting a school, the school of the 21st century Christ. Completely unorthodox in its learning system, its teaching methods. For everything I do is so that you be you, the king. And not just of your neurons or your field, but that you begin to enjoy your life, your creation, your laughter, your oneship with you? Will you become one with the real you? That which powers the universe is you in unlimited form. I suggest you're the King, immortal, eternal, infinite, and procreative, and that you create with love that which you are. Love, impersonal no more. Love, isolated no more. Love, learning and controlled by neurons no more, but learning by light. Love, peace, joy. Forgiving everyone of all they've done. You may walk with some scars in your body or your mind, but be healed from them. So whatever your body looks like, I call you Christ. I call you King. Not commandos in conflict of a war with yourself and each other anymore. Love your children. Repair relationships. Are you willing to go and bow before them? Are you willing to wash the feet of your children? I have. Will you love me? Who am I? I am the least of these. And if you want to elevate your ego over me and assault me with your righteousness rules and regulations, you can do as you want to. But my word goes forth. Who am I? I'm a simple, common guy in Eureka Springs that sought God, that allowed God to teach me that I was that, and that you are too. And we were never disconnected from each other. Our minds are connected even now in ways we don't see, feel often, or understand. And yet all of this is coming forth, the fullness of it, the maturity of it, the completion of Christ in a body of one body that is a species that communicate in love. Where we're all for each other. And we go and play as equals and create among the cosmos and farther. And time, space, and gravity will never have been. Is it a dream we're waking up from? Is it a field of electromagnetic influence that we corroborate with our own frame of reference, creating our own reality and separation? Are we the creators of the Creator? Yes. Create God in your image no more, as some solitary unit or some whatever you have described it. Be the unlimited potential, infinite, eternal, immortal essence of the living you in your mirror. And allow not that separation to criticize and critique you anymore. You are the one that no longer comes in combat to be the brutal against you. You surrender in your power to be light, to be who you are. And when you know who you are and your original identity, regaining it and understanding the proliferation of the message of Christ now that comes forth and that you're it, I suggest to you that a lot of things won't matter now. To you is in the past, whether you have on makeup or not, whether you have shoes to wear or not. Nobody is denied the Christ message. That's why the school is tuition free. But it costs you everything. What do I mean, everything? It costs you your identity. You give up your identity as being separate. You give up your identity to control your own free will. Do you have free will separate from God? I suggest what you've called free will and all the free will that you've been using to will your own will into separation and enjoy whatever you've placated yourself with and entertained you and studied with and achieved and even served others with and served God with is God. Is there any power but God? Usurp God no more, please. Come into the confidence of the real you. Create you. Learn to write, speak, enjoy life, meet people, operate globally. This is not about spirituality or religiousness. This is about identity. This is about love, light, joy, peace. And the greatest pattern I know is Jesus. Jesus gave us the pattern. Said, if you love me, you'll do what I do. If you love me, you'll never die. And how we each one interpret those words and all I've said and given you and lived depends on you, your frame of reference. I ask you to recontextualize everything, recontextualize your life. Value words that originate with you, in you, that come forth from you, that you cultivate your own surrender to learn from. That's what this school is about. So I go now. 35 minutes I've talked. 35 minutes I've shared. 35 minutes in this little video, I have opened up my heart to you. I have opened up to you what I am. Come enjoy to the throne of one where you are thrown away no more by you. You're not a cast out. You're not a castaway. No, you are the kingdom. For the kingdom of God is within you, always was, is you, and shall never be removed from you. You continue to create what you want to create. Create love, joy, and peace this day. This is Theodore Cottingham in Eureka Springs, creating a school. Oh, you're creating one too? You want to create the same one? You want to be in school and create your school at the same time? Creators create creators, not hierarchies. And those who put heavy burdens on you to do things their way, run from them. Be the real you, for I love you and I honor you this day. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing these words, for considering them, cultivating your curiosity, beginning to learn the operation of the new covenant that is real, dynamic, spoken, lived in the fullness of your face with your eyes, your ears, so that God suffers no more on this planet. I don't want my kids to suffer, my children. I want them to excel me in every way, and especially joy and peace. Well, I've shared my heart. I always do, to one degree or another, speaking extemporaneously with love. I hope you have felt it. I hope you feel it. I hope you enjoy yours. Heal you first. Love you first. Love each other. And wash the feet of all. Okay. Theodore Cottingham. If you would like to be part of the school, contact me. I may do some webinars soon. I've begun to work with putting courses online again using Moodle. Moodle is a course delivery platform, one of the most used on the planet. Check out Moodle, how it works. In School of the 21st Century Christ, check out how it works at TheodoreCottingham.com. Click on curriculum. Search on gluons, organelles, quarks, meonics, that speaks of you being the real you. I love you. I honor you this day. Gosh, 40 minutes. Okay, I'll wind up for now. I love you. Bless you. Come to Eureka. Have coffee with me. Lots of beautiful people here. Lots of love. It's a great place. I think you'll be welcomed here. Whatever that looks like. And whatever classes we have and where we have them. Oh my. Well, all that's an adventure that's coming forth. Be the creators, the creator of you. Let not your heart be troubled at any report. You're the king. Namaste. Theodore Eureka at Gmail. I love you. Share these words, please, with anyone you think may value them, and come into the confidence of being the completion of Christ in your mirror. Good day.